before the walls closed in on P. Diddy, another pop music megastar was charged with racketeering and sex trafficking, among other things. And he was convicted 2 times. R. Kelly has spent the last 3 years, almost to the day, in a medium security federal prison in Butner, North Carolina. His 2022 trial in Brooklyn ended with a sentence of 30 years. His 2023 trial in Chicago got him 20 years as well. And they're supposed to run mostly at the same time. But now R. Kelly wants out. And he says his life depends on it. He says that every minute he spends locked up at Butner, he is in danger. And why? The way his lawyers tell it, prison officials want R. Kelly dead. You heard me. The government, they say, has put a target on the singer in prison. And what's more, Kelly's lawyers say the Bureau of Prisons conspired with one of his fellow inmates, a member of the Aryan Brotherhood, to murder him. I'm joined now by Beau Brindley, attorney for R. Kelly. Mr. Brindley, I'm so glad to have you on this show. Thanks so much for being a guest. I mean, what I just read, what I just said, it just all sounds very fantastical. Do you have proof?
Well, the answer is we do have proof, and we appreciate the opportunity to be able to come on and talk about it. In terms of proof, the most powerful piece of proof I can provide is the sworn statement of the man who says that he was solicited to kill R. Kelly. Michael Glenn Stein has provided us with a full declaration signed, and he's given his willingness to sit down for a polygraph examination administered by either side to testify in court. He has given us the details of who solicited him and when. And I think that's the key here. These are not R. Kelly's allegations. These are the allegations being made by Michael Glenn Stein, who's the person who says that he was solicited to kill Robert and sent to Butner to do it from another facility. And we took significant time. Well, I don't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I'm trying to put a lot of the pieces of the puzzle together as you're answering. And I'm just confused if this inmate allegedly said that the Bureau of Prisons sought him out to murder a fellow inmate. Why?
Well, that's an excellent question, and the answer to that is also pretty clear. Mr. Stein, in his declaration, has set forth the reason that was given. The reason is that Mr. Kelly was about to expose some facts that would be extremely inflammatory and damaging to the Bureau of Prisons and the Department of Justice. And because of that, the Bureau of Prisons instructed Michael Glenn Stein to go to Butner and execute R. Kelly. And Mr. Stein made clear and gave us extraordinary detail when we spoke to Mr. Stein. We didn't use this until we actually went down and met with Mr. Stein for hours. And he told us in extraordinary detail that this is not the first instance, that this happens all the time, that the Aryan Brotherhood has been directed to commit murders and beatings at the behest of prison officials for years. People have been killed who pose problems for officers, for lawsuits, and it happens. According to Mr. Stein, not only will he tell you that it happens, he will explain, when given the opportunity in great detail, all of these murders in which he has participated, which he has directed other Aryan Brotherhood people to do. This being the most recent.
Can I ask you to just, like murder's a big deal, right? I think we can all agree on that. And putting a target on someone's head, kind of a last resort. What kind of information are we talking about that allegedly R. Kelly is in possession of that would be unflattering to the government at a level that would, suggest that a hit was put on his head?
Well, let me say it this way. It's not allegedly having evidence. We do have evidence, and one piece of evidence we've already presented in the form of a signed declaration from Keyshawn Mogadamudi, Robert's former cellmate. And what he describes is having been solicited by prosecutors who are offering him a reduced sentence in exchange for stealing Mr. Kelly's privileged attorney-client correspondence, funneling it through an identified Bureau of Prisons officer, a corrupt officer, and then that was provided to the U.S. Attorney's Office. This man has made a statement, and both he and Mr. Stein are making statements that are absolutely not in their own personal interest, and yet they've done it anyway. And so we do have that evidence. And what that evidence means is we're talking about prosecutors and Bureau of Prison guards, not just guards, but officials, people that are officers. We're talking about these people committing crimes. The theft of Mr. Kelly's mail was a crime, and it was a violation of his constitutional rights. On top of that, there's another prison guard against which a lawsuit is pending, Tawana Ingram, who also stole other attorney-client correspondence.
Let me jump in here, because I've been around the block as you have as well. And if I had a dime for the number of inmates who lied under oath on the stand, you name it, I'd be on a yacht in the Med. However, suggesting that the government thinks that this alleged behavior of a cellmate of R. Kelly's is so egregious that the only remedy is to solicit murder sounds a bit crazy. Again, given it would be their word against an inmate. So you see where I'm coming from, right? That's why it sounds fantastical. And I guess the other question to add to that is that if the threat is over, meaning the man allegedly solicited to kill R. Kelly has come clean and said, I won't do it, I'm going to sing like a canary instead, where's the threat?
The threat is the other members of the Aryan Brotherhood, another one of which has been identified, who has been asked to carry out what Mike Stein has been unwilling to do. That's what you have to understand. What we're talking about here is government officials who committed crimes, and people in the Bureau of Prisons that committed crimes. Crimes that the current administration, the current Department of Justice will have no sympathy for, I guarantee. And those people have benefited in going after R. Kelly and making their names and getting their publicity and all of that. And now the truth is they did it through constitutional violations. They did it through crimes. That Tawana Ingram, the Bureau of Prisons officer that stole his correspondence, there was a search warrant, they proved it, and they said they were going to investigate the U.S. Attorney's Office. You know what happened to her? She got her full pension. She walked away, retired, and was not charged. And she did it as an officer.
Well, let me ask
if there
you
was
this.
not corruption behind that, I don't understand how that could be.
Right, an inmate doesn't have a pension. So what would possibly be the incentive for an inmate to commit a murder in prison at the behest of the government? Like, what benefit? What do they get?
It depends on the circumstances. But Mr. Stein says is oftentimes what they get is the ability to traffic narcotics freely throughout the facility. What they get is the ability not to be searched. But in this instance, what Mr. Stein has clearly said he gets is the opportunity to be free. I mean, they have said to Mr. Stein, according to him, they have said that if he is to do this, he is a terminal cancer patient. He's going to die in the near future. That's a fact. And they have said that he will be transferred and he'll get the opportunity to walk away. And Michael Glenn Stein has a history of escaping from the Bureau of Prisons. He escaped previously. That's why he spent so long at the ADX Supermax in Florence. And all of a sudden, he was moved to this relatively low-security facility at Butner and put near R. Kelly. That's a fact. And the other fact is, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say I'm out of time in this segment. However, I would like to keep the conversation going with you. I know you have other, options. You're suggesting that maybe even Donald Trump might consider pardoning R. Kelly, though I'm not sure what's in it for Donald Trump. Could you keep me apprised on your efforts to get him, ankle bracelet release and home detention, and your efforts in seeking a federal pardon? Will you keep us apprised on that?
Absolutely. We're going to seek every opportunity to, one, make sure that Robert Kelly doesn't get killed, and number two, to see that he is freed based on what we believe to be and will prove to be a corrupt prosecution, the kind of which President Trump has promised to eradicate. And I believe he's the only person.
2 corrupt prosecutions?
What? What was your question?
2 corrupt prosecutions, or were 2 separate ones? There were 2 separate ones.
Yes, but the evidence being provided was both of them.
Okay.
Absolutely. Both of them received.
Okay, keep me posted. I gotta go,
yes,
but Beau, Brindley, I really appreciate. Sorry, we have some crosstalk, but I really appreciate this. Keep me posted, and we'll follow the story. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you what.